Thanks for joining us back at Shore Talk. I'm here with Bob Porter. Thank you very much for joining us
My
today.
pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Sure. Bob Porter is the owner of La Hatchery Galleria, located here in downtown Easton over on Kemp Lane. A very neat place. I actually went to visit it yesterday. It's sort of a neat cluster of all different
A little different, yeah.
artwork and this and that. We're here to talk about a little bit more of a specific story, but before we delve into that, sort of how did La Hatchery Galleria come to be? What are some things we can expect to explore there?
Well, the Hatchery Galleria was, first I guess we need to know that the building that we're in was a chicken hatchery as relates to all the surroundings there. So it just seemed logical that we would pick up on the hatchery routine and carry it forward into its new name and purpose. Yeah. And so we started about 2 years ago developing a gallery, and right now we have about 35 different artists that display there, and many different artisans that are doing things. And we just want it to be a fun place that people can come and relax, and it's a large place. We've got about 8,500 square feet of exhibit space, and just want them to take their time and enjoy themselves and see what we're all about in a non-pressing environment. So it's we're coming along really well now. We've got Brad Fout, who owns Calico Gallery, has taken over the gallery operation and has brought his custom frame shop there. So we're now a complete service art center, and he's kind of specializing in his retail side with a lot of children's art, children's activities, and so forth, which makes it a lot of fun. Yeah. So it's kind of from back in the day, back in the early '80s, when I used the building myself and with a business. Back then we were Heritage Art Publishers. We published box note cards and matted prints. So that went 35 years now. We've been in the art business, but in a different way. So this is kind of fun to open it up to the public. Yeah. So that's kind of our venture now.
Thank you. It is a very neat place. Like I said, I went there yesterday. It's really charming.
Thank you.
So the big story, and I like to say, pardon the pun, but a really inspirational and visual project sort of hatched at your Galleria. And just please tell us about it. It's a really exciting, really amazing project.
Well, it's a fun project. It started out several years ago as an idea that I had in a very minor setting. Our building is there, our hatchery is there, and next to us are some grain silos that are in questionable state of paint and repair. And so several years ago, I started thinking, well, maybe we would just paint a low-line mural on the silos and just kind of dress things up a little bit. And at that point, we came up with the theme of icons of the Eastern Shore. With me being a 8th generation Talbot County and Easton boy, I'm real proud of what we have in our environment here on the Eastern Shore, and I think a lot of people don't totally understand what a lot of the history and what the interesting things are. So we kind of picked that up as our theme to do on this mural. And from that point, it just kind of almost got out of hand, quite frankly. I had a friend come in, and he was used to be a graffiti artist up on Kent Island, and he went out to San Francisco to photograph the real big-time graffiti artists and did some coffee table books and different things. But when he came, his mother was exhibiting at the gallery, and when he came to one of our shows, he saw the silos and he just went ballistic. He said, "Man, I told him what my little idea of painting the low line deal and things. He said, "Man, we got to do more than that." So anyhow, the deal started there, and he hooked me up with some different graffiti artists. I hate to use that word. It has the wrong connotation, but there are some wonderful street artists out there that just do the most unbelievable work with spray cans. And so he hooked me up with some folks in Baltimore and Philadelphia, and they were interested in doing the job. And I got a little concerned about that, having a half a dozen or 8 people working on a project and maintaining our quality and so forth. And then I got introduced to 2 artists in Denmark, and just unbelievable work, and they wanted to come here really badly, but the situation we have now, trying to get work visas and this type of thing, it became really problematic to get them here for an extended period of time. So while all this was happening, the good news and the bad news is we were having a delay in getting permission to actually paint the silos. So
because to my understanding, the silos are still owned by Purdue.
Exactly,
so
Purdue owns
the
the building, exactly. And because of this corporate stuff, you know, it just took time. But that was the best thing that ever happened to us, because it gave me time to allow the thing to progress and, you know, work through some of the edges. And then the best thing that ever happened to us was that Cassandra over here at the tourism office told me I just had to go talk to Michael Rosado, that he was just a wonderful, wonderful mural artist.
And if anyone tuned in, pardon me, but if anyone tuned into the last Shore Talk show, we had Michael Rosado on with us as well, and we sort of dabbled with this project a little bit, but so it was exciting. We had Michael on, and now we have you, the creator behind.
Well,
so
he's an unbelievable gentleman, and you know, it was so funny when he came to to my office, and I gave him an idea of what we were talking about, and I said, Michael, there's a style of art that I don't know what it is, but I call it 3-dimensional. He said, oh, you're talking about trompe-l'oeil. I said, I don't know from trompe-l'oeil, but he said, that's optical illusion or trick the eye. He said, that's my favorite way of painting. And this is where you look at one of his murals and feel like you can actually walk right into it, or in other words, it's coming out off the wall at you.
Yeah.
So this is the way our entire project is going to be done, is in the trompe-l'oeil style, which is going to make it, it's going to be unbelievable just because of the scale of what we're doing.
So that leads to my next question. Okay. So what exactly, where does the design sit scale-wise thus far, and all that, the size of it? And
well, what we have
record-breaking things going on here.
Well, what we have now is I gave Michael, as I say, the theme of the whole thing is icons of the Eastern Shore, the things that make us special and different from the rest of the world. Okay. I gave him a list of 50 or 55 icons that I wanted included in the project. So he went and measured the building, measured all the silos, and got everything to scale. And he went away, and a week later he came back with this scale drawing of the entire project, including every single one of my icons. I mean, it was amazing, and
in not a long period of time, I might add, that he did that. You said it was only about a week.
Yeah, just right. You know, and then he did that, and then I said, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Yeah. He said, well, let me take it home, and I'm going to watercolor it so you can really see what it looks like. So 3 or 4 days later, here he is back with this beautiful watercolor to scale of the whole project. Now, this is no small project, as it turns out. Right now we're at right around 13,500 square feet is the overall size of this thing. And
I'm not a mural expert, but that's huge.
That is huge. Huge. To the point that I have actually applied to Guinness for a world record with this mural. Wow. For the largest single artist brush painted mural in the world. And I've done a lot of research, and I can't find anything close to it. So it's going to be an undertaking for him. Yes. I mean, right now we're scheduling 10 months, give or take.
And to start about when?
We're looking for middle of April. Michael's ready to rip any minute.
Sure.
You know, we've got some fundraising and things to do between now and then, but his attitude is, as soon as I've got 55 degrees, my paints work good, and I'm ready to roll.
I bet. Right. I do have a question. Because it's such a large and exterior project, is there any way that we as locals and people visiting can watch? I mean, obviously we can probably just stand there and watch, but is there any other ways that
Well, obviously you can, and this is what we want. We want this to be a very interactive project. I mean, it's, you know, we envision it as a major tourist attraction, but more than that, we envision it as a major educational program. And to further that, we're going to set up 2 camera operations. We're going to have one, we're going to have a GoPro camera on the ground that's going to do time-lapse photography, and that will be sent to our website. And I guess the most exciting part, though, is that we're going to put a webcam right up over Michael's shoulder, and we will be taping the entire time that he is painting, and that'll be going directly to our website and to YouTube right off the deal.
Talk about no pressure on Michael. Jeez.
Well, I've asked him. I said, Michael, is this a problem? He said, as long as I can pay attention to my painting and know how to do a lot of talking, I'm good.
Right, right.
But he is just an unbelievable gentleman. He really is. He's just a treasure. I can't tell you. Yeah. So he's phenomenal. So.
Are there any ways currently at La Hatchery Galleria? Are there? Can we get sort of a sneak peek as to what's to come of these icons are going to be painted?
There's
any sort of renditions going on?
Yep. There are several ways. One, we love to have people come in so we can give them a show and tell of all the sketches and drawings and so forth that we have, and we love to do that. And then part of the gallery operation, we have actually taken pieces of different icons and made posters out of them. So cool. We've right now I think we have 15 different ones. And you know what's amazing about what Michael has done, you know, this thing that he did with the sketch and then watercoloring it, you know, you don't expect things to be necessarily right. You know, you just give you an idea of what you're doing. He didn't do that. How in the world he pulled this off? These are really this sketch that he gave us is wonderful pieces of art, and they're so good. We're taking something this size, blowing it up 3 or 4 times, and it's holding together wonderfully and making beautiful posters. Yeah. And so he's making it way too easy on us. He really is. Well,
what a neat way also to be able to take home a piece of the project and a piece of the community that's, you know, this new piece of the community that's being done, to be able to hang a rendition or one of these smaller type posters of the icons in your own home or family room.
They really are neat. Yeah. And really, you know, part of this, at the heart of this whole thing is an educational program. Really, we've got so many adults living here that don't have a clue of all the things that surround it, all the things that have happened in our past and so forth that have brought us to where we are. But the adults are one thing, children are another. They have no idea, you know, what has gotten us from point A to point B in the last 150 years. And we're going to go all out with this project to see to it that, you know, the school children, we want it to be a destination for, you know, for teachers to bring children out, and it's going to be fun for them to, when this thing gets going, they can, you know, go around and try to find all the different icons and so forth. And on the website, we're going to have history stories about all the different pieces and why they are so important to us, which will be fun. So
very exciting, very exciting. So one would imagine that such a project needs a little bit of financial support.
Hello.
Hello. So tell us how we can help with that. How can we help with that? I'm sure there are various ways.
There are various different ways. I mean, there's you know, just some grassroots things from. You know, we have a GoFundMe site that folks can go to and make donations of any size that they wish. The next step up from that, we're going to be, everybody sells bricks. Well, we're in the hatchery deal and the silos. We're selling eggs. So, and this is going to, these eggs that we're actually going to, Michael's going to paint on the silo are going to be quite sizable. And they'll be the only outward view into who's sponsoring this thing. You're going to have your name written right down on an egg and we're going to have white eggs, we're going to have brown eggs and gold eggs depending on the size of the contribution. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. And then we're going to, as we get into our bigger sponsors, we're going to sell sponsorships to individual silos, and wall panels.
Okay.
So that's kind of the, that's kind of the progression of how we're going about our fundraising. We are making grant applications, but they're problematic in that they take a lot of time, and we want to get this project going. Less than a month from now, we'd like to have it rolling. So hopefully the community will get involved and help us bring the funding together for the project. And let me just mention one thing. For donations of $250 or more, we are a 501c3 agency, so there will be total contribution deductibility, excuse me,
right.
For the donations.
A nod, being that's tax season.
Yeah, right. Yes.
So, where am I? I lost myself. Okay, so the website, Bob just mentioned the website. I think we're going to post something, but the website, we can participate in the funding. We can help out through, am I correct? It's shoreicons.com.
That is our website. It is not up yet. It's in the building process. So it's going to be probably from today. It's going to probably be another 10 days probably before it actually goes live. Our GoFundMe page is live now, and that is gofundme.com/shore-icons plural mural, and that'll get you to the
that was good
to
that
the
you
website.
remembered all that.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're going to have that up on the screen for
Good,
everyone,
good.
but that was good.
There's
double check.
There's dashes and dots in there.
I know.
Right. Yeah, right.
All right, so we can help fund. You also have an email. I don't know if you want to share that on air, but if people want to contact you directly.
Absolutely. I'd love to talk to people about it on the email or on cell phone. So it's it's bob@shoreicons.com, which is pretty straightforward with that.
Great.
And they can get me on my cell at 410-310-7544. So I'd love to talk. I'd just love to talk about this project. I'm really passionate about it. And
well, as you should be.
It's been amazing, though. Usually when you do something with projects like this, you've usually got people that what the dickens you think you're doing? What's all this about? And why are you doing this? Or I don't like. We haven't had a word of that. Not a word of it. It's almost scary.
Right.
Something's wrong.
Are we okay?
What am I doing wrong? Right. Yeah. So it's we've gone all the way up to the governor's office and talking about this thing, and of course all the local the county and the town. The town is totally behind it, and actually they're talking about wanting to carry the project further into town when this project is done. So it's going to be a fun one, and we do want people involved in getting out here and watching it, and we're talking about having food trucks there in the parking lot and so forth. So
I
they can
want to
come
have
out
a food truck.
There you go. What an idea!
You heard the man. We need to get out and about. We really need to help fund and even just spread the word. I've already been talking about it. I started reading about this last year. And then having Michael on the show and doing some reading about Michael, and then it all sort of came together. So I'm so happy you decided to join us today.
Well, it's been my pleasure. Gracious.
The project really needs some help, so let's get out there. Let's buy our eggs.
Please.
Get your name on a silo. Do some more if we can.
You can be an egg donor. What a concept.
Oh, gee, bump. We'll leave that at that. Okay.
Oh, great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sally. My pleasure.
Thank you. Stay tuned. John Jemmer will be up next with another great guest here on Shore Talk.